Top Hunter for the Neo Geo CD. See, now this is cool. Right away, you're given a choice. You don't have to keep playing the same level 1 every time you start the game. You can choose which world you're going to start on. Now that is cool. And there's a lot of cool things about this game. This is a 2D side-scrolling platformer with a few unique twists. Now before I go any further, I just want to point out something in the background here. Do you see? Look at this. There's a restroom that's an igloo with a skull and crossbones on it. That's just really weird. I don't understand why they put that in there, but whatever. And what's with the skull and crossbones? Are you going to die? And do you see how, look at how small they have to crawl in and out of that thing. Would you really want to go into a restroom that's that small that you can't... Look at that. They have to crawl in and out. Man, it's got to be pretty stinky in there, I'd imagine, if it's that tight for space. And there's two of them. There's one back there, now there's one here. Anyway, really bizarre. Now, if you look here, see, I can't reach that lever. And this goes to one of the unique aspects of the game. There is essentially two paths on this game. There's the foreground and the background. And there are two jump buttons. One is just your regular standard jump button, lets you jump on enemies' heads just like Mario or whatever. And then there is another jump button that lets you jump into the background and back to the foreground, vice versa. And that adds a different element to the game that you don't always see in these 2D side-scrolling platformers. Now you see the time in the background there. That's something else that you get a lot of in this game, is picking up extra time. There's super time. Because there is a time limit that you have to pay attention to. Now that gold thing I just picked up, that's like a superpower. It doesn't make you invulnerable, but it does grant you some extra punching power. And if you get hit, they'll knock it out of you, but you can go back and pick it up. Now see the water there? Now that's just fantastic. The Neo Geo is unique in that it doesn't use standard backgrounds like you would get on perhaps a Super Nintendo or a Sega Genesis. Instead, the Neo Geo uses sprites to draw the backgrounds, the same engine that's used to draw the characters. So it's very easy to put extra animations and different things in the background that you wouldn't normally get on a game such as this. And the graphics are very good, which is what you would expect from a Neo Geo CD game. Lots of detail in the backgrounds. Check out this funky video effect. That's very cool in my opinion. Here's a little bonus stage. This game does have a 2-player simultaneous play option, which I wasn't able to test for this review, but it's really nice to have that option available because I think on games like this it really adds to the longevity factor. I mean, long after you've cleared the game, it's always great to go with a buddy and just blow through a few rounds of a game like this, and it's a lot of fun. Look at the background here. Isn't that just incredible? The way the wind blows and the dust in the background. I mean, it's only a few frames of animation, but it really makes a big difference. Same thing with the leaves falling in the foreground. It's these kind of little touches that really make the Neo Geo games stand out over the less expensive, although much more popular consoles such as the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. The music in this game is fantastic. It uses Red Book audio. The advantage of Red Book audio is that the sound is not actually being generated by a chip inside the machine. Instead, the developers use professional instruments to make the music and then record it using conventional means, and then they put it on the CD, just like you would a standard audio CD. The sound is much better than what you would expect from a game of this era. The other advantage to Red Book audio is that, much like a conventional CD, you can just pop this into any CD player and you just skip the first track because that's where the data is, and then the rest of the tracks are standard audio tracks that you can play on your CD player, and so you can enjoy the music wherever you want to be. You can rip it into iTunes, etc. What's this guy doing here? Why in the middle of Fire World do we have a Sasquatch, or a Yeti, I guess you could call him, in the middle of the game? It doesn't seem to make any sense. And why is he shaved from the waist down? That is just too weird. And he doesn't seem to really do much. You know, he hits me, and then he just kind of walks off the screen. Oh no, I squashed him. Never mind. I squashed him with my rock there. That's how he left. Oh, and then I just got squashed. It looks like we've suddenly arrived at Stonehenge, although it doesn't look like... I've been to Stonehenge. It didn't quite look like what we're seeing here. This seems to be a new rendition of Stonehenge. You get a lot of boss battles in this game, and some of them are a big pain in the butt. Of course, if I had known all the combos for this game, maybe the boss battles would have not been quite as big of a pain as they were. Of course, there's something of a double-edged sword to the way the game's continues work. You can essentially die and continue indefinitely until the game is finished. And this can be a good thing because, I mean, you bought the game. That was that was the appeal of having a Neo Geo at home, as opposed to going to the arcade where you had to pop a quarter into the machine every time you ran out of lives. The appeal was that now you could take that arcade game home and you could play it as much as you want. The only trouble is that by being able to continue indefinitely, it hurts the long-term appeal of the game, because instead of slowly progressing as you would perhaps in a game like Super Mario Brothers, in this game, if you're persistent, you can just keep playing and continuing and dying and continuing until the game is finished, and it hurts the challenge level of the game, in my opinion. So it can be a good thing and a bad thing. So there you have it. Thumbs up for Top Hunter for the Neo Geo CD. A great little 2D platformer that's a nice break from the standard Neo Geo library of fighters and shooters and that kind of thing. I'm the Expanded Gamer in Asia. Thanks for watching.